best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Do you like spoilers? As I've said before, I don't inherently care too much about spoilers. Spoilers for the content doesn't destroy my enjoyment of whatever it is I'm reading or I'm watching. I don't know why. It's just it never is a factor. I realize I'm not like most people in this regard, but you could spoil the ending to a movie for me, and if the movie is a good movie, I'll still enjoy it. It doesn't impact it at all, one way or another. I don't know. I think part of it is I've read so many comics, watched so many movies, I can usually see the plot twist coming. So like The Sixth Sense. So spoilers, if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis is dead. He's dead at the end. And he's been dead all along. And this is, but I heard about that spoiler before I watched the movie, watched it, still enjoyed it, not as much as Unbreakable, as a much better movie. But there, you could see the twist coming there a mile away as well. But anyway, if a movie or a show is good, story is good, I don't mind. But that's not how it works for most people. And so this viewer question, short and sweet. Hey, Perch, what do you think about DC spoiling the conclusion of Trial of the Amazons? Does this spit in the face of the few fans who are actually reading that event? And why do they do this in the first place? Okay, I'm editing out the line where they actually talk about the spoiler for this event. But why not? So, first off, spoilers. We're about to talk about Trial of the Amazons. Not too much. This is more a video about spoilers and why do people do this and what are they thinking. So, in this case, the event, Trial of the Amazons, was spoiled via the solicitations. And in the solicitations, basically Hippolyta has been murdered, and somebody did it. Who did it? Was it an inside job? Was it a pesky man? Who could have done this? And then if you read the solicitations as it went, it seemed to indicate it was one of their own. Okay, that's not good. And then we got Artemis Wanted, #1. This is written by Vita Ayala. It is coming out in, I don't know, a couple weeks? When is it coming out? July. Okay. So Artemis Wanted #1 talks about the story of Artemis, who is on the run because she betrayed her people. Why? By killing Hippolyta. So spoilers, the big twist in Trial of the Amazons, who killed Hippolyta? It is Artemis who has done this for reasons. Sure, why not? Why did she do it? I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're going to find out. But the question mark is, why would DC spoil the current event via the solicitations for something coming several months from now? Why doesn't this take the punch out of this event? Well, first off, it goes without saying, Trial of the Amazons, I don't know if that many of the people were actually interested in this event in the first place. It didn't seem like it was exactly burning down the house in terms of sales. So, but it's still a spoiler. Even if nobody was reading it, it's still a spoiler. And granted, for the people who were invested in that story, probably sucks to get the big reveal done in solicitations. But this isn't the first time this has happened, or even the fifth time this has happened. This goes on all the time. And typically, comic publishers spoil their events either through solicitations, screw-ups where they accidentally post the wrong variant cover that shows who's murdered or brought back to life or whatever it happens to be. This happened in Fear Itself a bunch. Or they'll just spoil it via articles, press releases that they put out to USA Today or agencies. And at least in that case, the thought process that's going on with the publisher is, hey, we're getting an article in USA Today. Who cares about anything? The publicity of getting in USA Today is so important. Let's just spoil whatever we want. It doesn't matter. Getting in USA Today is all that matters. That's the way they think. Because in many cases, these comic publishers are so starved to get any marketing they can, and they get kind of stars in their eyes when an actual, place that's bigger than, say, IGN will cover something of theirs, that they'll go ahead and spoil stories, do whatever, whatever. Who cares? That's what they do. Is this a good practice? No. Is it destructive for the comic business? Absolutely. Does this kind of, screw over creators who have been building and carefully crafting their story? Sure. Does it hurt, the people who are investing money in buying this comic? Yeah. I mean, all of those things. It's not good. It's not healthy. And it's particularly sucks when solicitations, which, as we've talked about in the past, are not exactly good. They're generally an afterthought. They do very little to actually sell the comics. So even more tragic is when you have these things that are designed to sell the comics. They do a poor job at it, and then on top of it, they go ahead and spoil storylines in the process as well. Now, you might ask yourself, hey, if a comic is coming out, that what they want to do is they want to strike while the iron's hot, and they want to follow up on Trial of the Amazons. I don't know if that iron was ever hot, but okay. And so you're going to have a comic that is a character on the run who was part of this storyline. It was a big reveal in this storyline. So how else are you supposed to solicit the comic? I mean, in this case, it's Artemis. So they could have put classified on the run, and then just kind of hidden the information. Say the secret killer from Trial of the Amazons is under assault by her Amazonian sisters, and what will happen, but they could still do it, not reveal it. And I don't know the reveal of Artemis is going to add any other orders to that comic. I also, and the creative team of Vita Ayala is not a must buy for a lot of people. So Vita's name is not going to do anything to plus or minus, maybe even minus in some cases, this comic. So what does it really matter? Why did they feel the need to spoil it? And the short answer is just, I mean, kind of laziness. Or rather, they just didn't believe anybody would be reading it or care. So why not? That's where we're at with a lot of these things. And keep in mind, I mean, before we beat up on people too badly, I mean, you're talking about a staff at a comic company. And I think this goes it's not understood that you have a staff at a comic company that is demoralized with feeling helpless in a lot of the decisions they make, have lived in this kind of, will we be sold or will we be bought, or what's going to go on with our company? They've been living that for almost 3 years now, where they've been jerked around. It's like, now we're part of AT&T. Oh, AT&T doesn't want us. Oh, are we going to get sold off? No, we're not. Are we going to go to Discovery? I guess so. Oh, now we're part of Discovery. And COVID's going on in the middle of that. And so you have just a team of people who are just not into work or anything else. It presents a hero opportunity for somebody who can somehow find the inner guts and glory to actually go through and somehow somehow keep their optimism high and still get things done. It presents a great opportunity for that. But by and large, you got a lot of people who are just they are bummed and tired, and they don't know which way is up. And that's how you get things like this. It's not maliciousness against the fans. It's just a complete confusion, apathy, depression, sadness, whatever you want to say about the job. That I talked to a number of people at DC. That's where a lot of people at DC's heads are at right now. They just don't. They're it's like PTSD. Tom King should write a story about what's going on when they do the biography of DC. Then Tom King should write that story, because you've got a lot of people who are in that state of just like feeling emotionally just beat and exhausted. And that's where the company's at. I mean, look at like Chris Conroy. Yeah, I mean, there's a always magic going on with old Conroy's tweets and what he's after, because it's a guy who clearly doesn't enjoy his job, struggles to answer email, has problems waking up before noon. I mean, and I'm not making this up. I mean, this is stuff he writes on an almost daily basis. I've never met anybody who so publicly advertises how completely apathetic and tired of his job he is as this guy, but whatever. Anyway, so there you go. To answer your question, why do they spoil it? Because nobody cared. Is it bad that they spoiled it? Yes. The Trial of the Amazons was not, blowing up the sales charts. And so it needed every little thing it could get. Taking the wind out of the sails for, the best they can hope for now is the reveal of Artemis as the killer somehow makes the entire thing more interesting. And, they want to see how it got there. Like, I can't wait to see how Artemis was the person who murdered Hippolyta. I mean, sure, as if she's not going to get brought back to life in 12 issues or less anyway, but whatever. There you go. I don't care about spoilers. I do hate that a lot of companies slide into them by accident, which is what it seems like happened here. But you tell me, what do you think? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Eh. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And thanks for listening.